What's up, guys, and welcome back. It's a beautiful day here in Maryland. I'm on a business trip, and right behind me, you see a 2025 Wagoneer. This is a rental vehicle that the rental company gave me. I drove it. This is day 4 right now, so about 4 days, and put about 500 miles on. So I have a pretty good idea what it drives, and today I'd like to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to check it out, the exterior, interior, technology, of course, a test drive. If you like watching videos like this, don't forget to check out the rest of my channel and hit the subscribe button. And if you like anything about this video, don't forget to give me a like. Now let's go back to this. And this is a 2025 Jeep Wagoneer, the largest SUV that they make. They got reintroduced into the market in 2022, and I have already done a few reviews of a Wagoneer and a Grand Wagoneer. And this is where it gets confusing, because to a lot of people, Grand means large, and the Grand Wagoneer is not any bigger than the Wagoneer. The difference is in the equipment. The Grand Wagoneer is the more luxurious version of it. This is the base trim level. This is Wagoneer Series I, 4-wheel drive. We're going to talk about the pricing of it, because that has changed for 2025. And I'm going to tell you of what I like and what I don't like about it. We're going to start right here with the exterior of it. So first of all, you have the LED lights. These are the Jeep Performance lights, LED lights, daytime running lamps, and turn signals. Let me click the blinker on it so you can see how they light up. And then you have the satin chrome that surrounds this 7-slot vertical grille. We have the Wagoneer that's spelled out. Right at the bottom, you see a set of fog lamps right here, and a lot of spaces for the air to get in to help with cooling off the engine. I apologize, this vehicle is not clean. As you can see, a lot of bugs on, because yes, I've been driving it both on the expressway and in the city driving, and I kind of like this powertrain, which, by the way, let's see what it is, because that's the only engine option if you choose to go for a Wagoneer. It's going to be the inline 6-cylinder twin turbocharged engine, producing 420 horsepower, 468 pound-feet of torque. It has made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. It's available as a rear-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. Still looks brand new, because this vehicle only have about 900 miles on. Still has the sticker on top of it, so you have the Wagoneer spelled out. And here's where it's made. It's designed in Auburn Hills, Michigan, and it's built in Warren, Michigan. Lots of American flags all over this vehicle, proudly made here in the United States. What else do we have? We have the hood struts holding the hood nice and tall, some sound insulation. Now let's close this off. Before we start driving, let's take a look at the rest of this large SUV. I'm saying large because it is 200 and almost 15 inches long, 214.7 to be exact. And we have the wheelbase of 123 inches. It's 83 inches wide and about 76 inches tall. So large, right? And while it shares the platform with the Ram 1500, it drives completely different. And that's because the frame's been modified. It's fully boxed in. It also has the independent rear suspensions. Let's take a look and see what it has. So for 2025, standard wheel size is 20 inches. They went from 18 to 20. I think that's the right choice for a large vehicle the size. Tires are 275 by 65 on 20-inch rim. And there's no matte black cladding anywhere. Everything is covered in the same color as the rest of this vehicle. It's black, of course. In this case, we have the Wagoneer spelled out. Another American flag in here. Fixed running boards, kind of this satin chrome trim, breaks it up a little bit at the bottom. We have the mirrors with the turn signals, blind spot assist. The top portion of the windows is covered with a satin chrome. Bottom of it is all blacked out. Low profile roof rails, no sunroof on this particular one. So I got to tell you, I like the front of this vehicle. I like the back of it. I'm not quite sure on the side profile, not the whole side, just this portion right here. Something is, I don't know, it's not hitting me right on this. But I gotta tell you, these large windows makes it for a great visibility from the interior of this vehicle. But before we get that, let's take a look on in the back. Well, by the way, and here's the gas tank door, 26 gallons capacity. I just filled it up. It took about 22 gallons. So the gas mileage is 16 in the city, 23 in the expressway. We're going to talk a little bit in detail what I'm getting on this 500-mile trip in just a little bit. But here in the back, you have Wagoneer that's spelled out. You also have the large LED lights. Let's get them blinking right here. See the turn signals, the LED lights, and then right here at the bottom you have the reverse lights, reflector lights. Now here's the mystery that I haven't been able to really figure it out. Now, most of the publication says the Wagoneer can tow up to 10,000 pounds. Now, if you go to the Jeep's website, it says 5,800 pounds when you take the specific look at the trims of this vehicle. So which one is it? Guys, if you know, let me know. I'd like to hear that. All right, we have this Wagoneer remote. Okay, so unlock, lock twice to start it, twice to open this rear hatch, which I'm doing right now. And check this out. All right, this is huge. This is about 27 cubic feet of storage. Here's a better angle. And that's just behind the third row seat. And mind it, this is the standard length of it. They also available and the extended L, the Wagoneer L, but this is the standard version of it. So we have 27 cubic feet of storage, just a little bit more storage right underneath here. And then, yes, you have the jack to lift up the vehicle underneath here as well. You have the 12-volt power outlet. There's not much power options in here because this is the base trim. You can close the gate from here. And how do you fold down the seats? Well, first of all, they're 60-40 split. And you pull up on this little loop right here. Boom. Let it go. And the seats will fold down. And that's about 71 cubic feet of storage. And if you want it to fold down the middle seats as well, you're going to have 111 cubic feet of storage. So definitely a large SUV. There's no question about this. All right, we have some glare going on in here, so I'll show you on this side. We have the USB Type A and USB Type C for the passengers right here in the third row seat. Of course, their own cup holders and the vents. Up on top, they also have their own illumination. And mind it, this is all in the base trim. Now, let's see how much room we have on the interior. And check this out, guys. So this is a 7-passenger configurations, which means you have 2 captain chairs in the back, a bench seat in the back as well. And how do you get in the third row seat? We'll push the button right on top, move the seat out of the way, and check it out. This is probably one of the largest third row seats in the segment. No question about it. Let me jump inside. I'll show you how much room I have. And getting inside, it's fairly easy. I actually have tons of room above my head. And of course, this seat is not adjusted all the way back. I have a little bit of room, but I also want to show you that there is room for the passenger in the middle seat. So this could be a compromise. And I can move it back a little bit as well. And here is me being 6 feet tall. I have probably about 2 inches, so I can definitely move it back and still have more room. And here it is, guys. This is with the seat all the way to the back. I still fit. I still have some room in front of my knees. Now, as far as the headroom, no issues here at all. I have about 2 inches, plenty of shoulder room. So definitely an adult size friendly seat in the third row here. And since we're already on the interior, let's check what else is going on. So right here, there's this middle console. And what's going on here? We have vents. We have your climate control, a separate climate control, all digital for the rear passengers. So you have the heated seats right here in the back seat, temperature control, fan control right at the bottom. You have a 115-volt outlet. And you have the 12-volt outlet, 2 USB Type-C ports, 2 USB Type-A ports, and cup holders. Now in the seat backs, we have some storage compartments, and let me check out how much room I have in this middle row seat. And here it is. I'm sitting behind the driver's seat, adjusted to my regular driving position, 6 feet tall, plenty of room here. My feet fit nicely in those footwells over here. We have plastic here, so really nice and easy to clean up. And of course, on the side here, we have an additional vent. So there's vents on the side, there's vents in the middle console for the rear passengers as well, making it nice and comfortable. And of course, we have plenty of headroom and shoulder room here as well. As we exit from here, I just want to point out that this is all leather. This is a regular grade leather. If you go for the higher trims, you get the Napa leather. If you go for the Grand Wagoneer, you get some super duper leather that's even higher grade than this. Now, what do we have on the door panel right here. So this is all softer plastic. Now this gives in a little bit, so it's just really nice that they do that. We also have this kind of a graphite trim that's going on in here, and some shiny black around the speakers, Alpine stereo, and we have leather wrapping on the armrest as well. So you have the window control with the auto down feature, and of course we have the lock and unlock. We don't have the sunshade until you go to the higher trim level, but there is a little bit more storage in the back seat. And let's check out, see what's going on in the driver's area. Starting with the sound of the closing door. Pretty heavy door, and it sounds good actually. And on the front door panel, you have the same trim, this graphite trim. We have the 2 memory seat settings, window, mirror, lock controls, Alpine speaker, and then here at the bottom, more storage here. Now, as far as the seats, you have the 12-way power adjustments, not only for the driver, but also for the passenger seat, so really nice. And the front seat are much more comfortable. It's a little bit more bolstered than the seats in the back. What else is going on? On the left-hand side right here, you have the light control, and then you have the electronic parking brakes and dimmers over here, and power tilt and telescoping feature here. Let me jump inside. I'll show you the rest of this interior. Starting with the sound of the closing door from the interior here. Boom. It's nice and solid. Dashboard, same material as the top of the door. So this is that softer plastic, making it, in my opinion, more of a soundproof kind of, it feels better. Anyway, so we have the 2 vents, one on each side over here, the same graphite trim that we've seen on the side of the door in the glove box. 2 screens, 10.1-inch screen for the infotainment system, and then we have the 10.3 for the driver information display. As far as the steering wheel, we have the flat bottom steering wheel, a Wagoneer spelled out, a bunch of buttons. The ones on the left hand side, those are the ones to control what's going on in the instrument cluster. We'll check that out in a little bit. We also have the phone hang up and pick up button on the right hand side, the cruise control and adaptive cruise control, and of course the regular stocks for the turn signals and the wipers. Now here's what's going on here. Now let's go to number 1. So that's speedometer, and if you didn't like this view, you can change it out to the digital view or go back to the regular one. Not too much customization here, but at least there is some. So on the right hand side, speedometer, left hand side, tachometer. We have the range of 367 miles. Just filled it up not too long ago. 925 miles on the vehicle. And I took it in. It was 411 miles. I filled it up last night about 2 miles ago with 22.6 gallons of gas. So that translates to about 22 miles per gallon that I was driving. So that's actually pretty good. I then reset the odometer or the trip meter, which I should have, but I did it the old-fashioned way. I just filled it up and divided it by the miles driven. Okay, so what else we have? So this was number 1. Number 2 is driver's info. Number 3 is vehicle info, and you have the submenus in here. So vehicle info right here, it says 13.9. Well, it's probably been idling quite a bit. I'm actually going to reset it right now. Just put it in the comment section. I have this vehicle for another day, so I'll put that in the description of the video just to see if it's any different than I calculated. We have the different gauges, so the coolant temperature, oil temperature, transmission temperature, battery voltage, oil temperature, etc. And the oil life at 84%, and the oil level, tire pressure, and start, stop, not ready, driver seatbelts unbuckled. Yeah, because I'm standing here. Anyway, 4 is the trip info. And then we have the navigation. So it's loading because it has a built-in navigation that's standard on even this base trim level. And of course, you have the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. We're going to get to it in just a little bit. 6 is the off-road pages. So you have the pitch and roll here. You have the angle of the steering wheel. And right now it's in automatic. So it's an automatic full-time 4-wheel drive, adapts to road conditions. And you can change that. You can change that to snow, let's say, so that's slippery conditions. You can change that to sand and mud, and you can change that to sport if you wanted to. So different options are available, and it's kind of as you can see, this was a good example because I've been pressing it and waiting for the screen to respond. So that's kind of a delayed response that's experienced all over this new software here. So anyways, let's see what else is here. So number 7 is audio, number 8 is messages, 9 is settings, and you can access the screen setup pressing the OK button. And if I do that, I can select several options on here if it ever is going to get to the screen setup. And there you go. So you have the upper left, upper right, you have the lower left and lower right, and you can change of what's displayed in here. Like right now it's okay, upper right, we have the outside temperature, we can do compass and time, etc. Now you probably noticed that it's 56 degrees outside, so I'm not in Florida and not in October, early October. So yeah, definitely 56 degrees. It would be really almost freezing in Florida. So I'm in Maryland and for a business trip, and it's 56 degrees, actually nice and refreshing here. All right, let's go back to the car. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to see if there's anything else. No. So back to speedometer. So that's what we have as far as the driver's information display. We also have, here's the start stop button for the engine. It says run right now. And I know on the Grand Wagoneer, they had this nice and polished aluminum. This is just plastic trim, still looks pretty cool. And here's the main screen. So 10.1 inches. Now that's a little bit behind, or quite a bit behind the competition, because right now pretty much everybody is going large screen. The Toyota's 14 inches. Nissan is about, I think, 14 or 15 inches. Now we have the huge screens on the new Expeditions. I think Chevy's at 17 inches. So behind, but listen, it's functional. It does the job. Now, I'm usually the first one to point out the small screens. This one was large enough at 10.1 inches. Now it looks bigger because, of course, that bezel over here where we have some buttons on the side, that's the heated seats, ventilated seats, and the two zones right here that you can heat or ventilate your seats. So either the top or the bottom, or the top and the bottom, and the heated ventilated seats, 3 stages. We have the heated steering wheel as well. And here, as you can see, this is Android Auto, so you can use whatever you want as far as the navigation, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, if that's what you preferred versus the built-in navigation. You can also listen to your favorite podcasts, etc. Now, as far as the main screen here, this is your home button, and this is your built-in navigation. And sometimes the screen takes a little bit. So this is your built-in navigation. That's how it looks like. We also have the media button, and you can see with the media button, you have the FM, Sirius XM, and the streaming device. I don't think there is an AM. Oh yeah, there is an AM, sorry. So AM, FM, Sirius, Bluetooth, etc. And let's go back to the comfort screen, and that's where you can adjust some temperatures or the vent settings or the fan speed, the ventilated heated seats, etc. That's what you can do it in this screen. You can also do it right here using the shortcut buttons underneath. Go back to the next one. So that's the navigation, Android Auto we've already seen, and several options for your vehicle control. So you have your dashboard. This is your off-road pages, and select terrain. Right now we're in the sport mode, but you can select it to go to the auto mode, snow, or you can do sand and mud. It is kind of like, my son would call it glitchy, that it's glitchy. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Okay, so you have other options, pitch and roll, gauge, and dynamics, basically what you've seen in the instrument cluster right there. You also have your longitude, latitude, and altitude. That's here, and we are in the auto mode. That's where I'm going to leave it for the test drive here. Go back to the vehicle settings. What else we have? Controls, mirror dimmer. This is pretty cool. Second row headrest fold and the third row headrest forward. This is a large vehicle. Not exactly you can turn around and do it with your hand manually. So you just push the button. It's going to fall down the headrest. Now, rear view camera. I'm actually going to, yeah, I can put it right here, but I can also put it in reverse. And fairly standard camera system. Not the greatest, not the worst. It's got pretty good visibility. You can zoom it in a little bit, and you have the active trajectory lines. On the higher trim levels, you get the 360s, you get a little bit nicer camera system. So this is a base trim, and this is what you get. Okay, go back here, and you go to settings. Tons of settings for you to customize as far as the display, theme mode, touchscreen beep, show main category, etc. You can probably spend some time just learning this. I haven't really took time or paid too much attention to nothing but just the basics here. Oh, as far as the lights, you have the proximity wake up. So when you get close to the vehicle, it turns the light on. It also has a pre-code like the puddle lights. See if I can record it tonight and just play it somewhere here too. That's pretty cool. Cornering lights, flashlights with lock, daytime running lights. Everything is on right now. As far as the brake, auto park brake, you can turn that on, and doors and locks. Okay, auto unlock on exit, flashlights with lock, etc. So you can customize it to your liking. And of course, if you like apps, here are the apps that are favorites. So tutorials, off-road pages, Alexa device manager, Android Auto. Of course, you can select something else in a different category. So you have the media, comfort, navigation, whatever you like. Just hit it and it's going to display in your favorites. Regular power and volume knob on this side, tune and scroll knob on the other side, and here underneath here you have the wireless charging pad. I'm not sure if you can be able to see that. It's really dark, kind of illuminated, maybe a little bit. And don't mind my sunglasses here, and some more storage. You can also close this off if you don't like to see that. And we have this fingerprint magnet with this shiny black plastic. Now, what also we have here, you can turn off your automatic start stop feature, lane keep assist. That's off right now, and I think I turned it off by design because it was really bothering me. I'll talk to you a little bit later while driving. So traction control, we have the hazard lights, parking sensors, tow haul mode, mute button, and this knob shifter. Okay, so this is how you switch your gears. Okay. And here it is. So now I put it in the auto parking brake. So that's what it engaged. We have the cup holders. That's also closable. So you can do that. And now you have this nice trim, basically the same thing as on the side of the doors. And then we have this two-tiered console up on top. So here it is. So I filled it up, guys. It was 22.2 gallons and about 500 miles. So that translates into about 22 miles per gallon. This is what I did. More storage down here in this large console, and that's basically the interior of it. Oh, we got to scroll up in here, show you the mirror. Regular mirror. Now, I know on the higher trim levels, the mirrors, the video mirrors are available. And right here, you have the LED lights. You can open the gate, turn the lights on when the doors are on or off. And you have the home link system on the visor, illuminated visors in here as well. And no sunroof on this. You don't get a sunroof on the base trim level. You have to go up or get a package. I think it's a premium package that gets this dual pane panoramic sunroof. So this is the interior of this 2025 Wagoneer. All right, let's talk pricing. Take it for a spin. And of course, before we take it on the road, let's take a look at Jeep's website. Let's see what these vehicles are selling for. And here's a big one. So in 2024, the base price of a Wagoneer was $62,945. In 2025, it's $59,945. Wow. So they actually dropped the price by about $3,000. Why is that? Well, the sales are not the greatest. I was talking to a couple dealers, and he says, hey, I have this one with $100 and some thousand MSRP. It's a 2024 brand new. We're taking $30,000 off the MSRP, and there's still no bites on it. So why is that? Well, I have my theory why they're not selling, and I'll tell you that while driving. But let's take a look at the rest of the lineup, because there are several different trims for the Wagoneer. So the base one, $59,945. Now this is for the rear-wheel drive. There's about $3,000 upcharge for the four-wheel drive, and there's about $2,000 destination charge. Now I don't have a sticker for this particular one, but it seems like everything here is standard with the exception of the color. So they charge for the color for some reason. So the next offer up is the Wagoneer Series II. The Series II is $63,945, also a two-wheel drive, and $3,000 more for the four-wheel drive. Carbide at 67,335. Again, it's for the rear-wheel drive. Overland is the one that starts with a four-wheel drive, so 72,740. Series 3, also four-wheel drive, 73,945. Limited, 75,135. And Super, 81,135. So anywhere from $60,000 to $80,000, depending on what you like. I think it's priced very well within the market segment. So we're talking the competition. So let's talk Tahoes, Expedition, Nissan Armada, Toyota Sequoia. That's basically it in the non-luxury large SUVs. And then, of course, with the Grand Wagoneer, we have vehicles such as Cadillac Escalade and maybe Infiniti QX80. Also, there's some Mercedes and BMW, but they're, even though they're considering large, they're much smaller than these. Very large vehicle, tons of space on the interior, tons of space for luggage. As you can see, I'm traveling along. I don't really need it. They gave it to me because they didn't have what I wanted. I really wanted to test drive the Toyota 4Runner for about a week and see how that drives. They didn't have that, so they go like, hey, we're going to give it this if you'd like. I go like, okay, I'll take it. And too much vehicle for me, to be honest with, like, especially traveling by myself. So with that said, let's talk about how it drives while driving. Put the shades on, and we're going to do some circles here in this parking lot, because one of the important things when driving a large SUV is to see if it actually is going to be able to turn around in some tighter spaces. Now, if I was going in the city and have to spend some time in the narrow streets, I'd probably say, no, I don't want it, because it is a large SUV. It's wide, 83 inches wide, it's 215 inches long. So let's take a turn right here, make it a full circle, steering wheel all the way to the left. Can I even do that? Ooh, yes, it's going to be close, but we did it. So it turns just about like if you have a midsize SUV. If, for example, if you're driving a Grand Cherokee, or if you're driving, a Ford Explorer or Honda Pilot, add another quarter of the turning radius to it. So you just make sure that you have enough space around you to turn this vehicle around. And on the road, it's great. Now, once you get this vehicle going, and it's got a pretty quick pickup. I think it's 6.3 seconds, 0 to 60, something like this. So definitely, it's not a slouch. I mean, it's got power. It's got power. It's got torque. So there's no question that it is capable of moving this massive weight, which is about, what, 6,500 pounds curb weight on this vehicle. But we'll see how long that lasts, because that reliability is still a question mark. When they first came out, they had a different engines in them. The base Wagoneer was a 5.7 Hemi e-torque, and then the Grand Wagoneer was a 6.4 Hemi. And so the 2024, I believe, they changed that to the new Hurricane engine. That's what we have in this one. And it's a standard output Hurricane in the Wagoneer. It's a high output Hurricane in the Grand Wagoneer. That high output produces about 100 more horsepower, or over 100 more horsepower. So definitely a more powerful engine there. Was it the right choice? Well, time will tell. But as far as the competition, we have the Expeditions that are 6 cylinders. Armada is a 6 cylinder. We have the Sequoia, that's a 6 cylinder as well. And the only one in the segment that comes standard with the V8 is the GM. So you have Tahoes, Yukons, Cadillacs, they all come standard with the 5.3 liter V8 engine, and you can upgrade it to the 6.2. I think the Cadillac is on the 6.2 as a standard one. So anyway, so the V8s are for Cadillacs, and then the rest of them are 6 cylinders, some kind of a 6 cylinder, like Ford, Nissan, and Toyota. They're V6s. This is, of course, an inline 6. So what I like about this vehicle, definitely the space. I mean, the space is there. Standard features on. I was actually surprised that this is a base trim level. I was trying to get a sticker from a dealership, the original sticker from the vehicle. So I gave them the VIN number, and I don't know, because it's fleet or because their system was not compatible, they couldn't pull it up and tell me exactly what the MSRP was on this one. So I went on Jeep's website and I was going feature by feature to see if there's anything on this vehicle that is not a standard equipment. I couldn't find it other than the color. For some reason on the website it says that white is the only color that you don't pay extra, and if you wanted the black color, it's $695. So I'm not sure if that's 100% correct, but I'm sticking with it. And standard equipment, that's great. I mean, yes, there's some luxurious features that you can expect from a large vehicle, especially when you start getting into the price. But listen, this price is about $65,000. So it basically is at the same level as some of the mid-size SUVs. So you have the Grand Highlanders, you even have the Tellurides, you have the Jeep Grand Cherokees. The Grand Cherokees can be more expensive than that, depending how you option it up. So definitely it is not a super expensive vehicle. Okay, guys, well, I'm going to stop this vehicle right here because there's a stretch of an open road ahead of me and I have nobody behind me. So I'm going to check the acceleration. Let's hit it. And it goes. That twin turbo charge is definitely no slouch. We get it up to 62 miles per hour in no time, so it definitely goes. Once you get it on the road, you can set it and forget it. This one has the regular suspension. The higher trim levels are available with the air suspension, so that makes it for an even softer ride. However, with that said, the reason I turned off that lane keep assist, that was very aggressive. That was pulling me in when I wasn't even like moving out of line or out of lane. For the lane keep assist. So that was kind of annoying. I turned that off. It made it a little bit better. The Sport is, the only thing I think it changes is the gearing and, the way that the transmission shifts. And it was a little bit too aggressive. I found it like it hunts for gears a little bit more than in the auto settings. So I spend most of the time in auto settings on this. And the gas mileage at 22 miles per gallon for a vehicle this size, it's definitely not a bad thing. And after putting 500 miles on this vehicle in 4 days, I don't have to go and visit the chiropractor. The seats are fairly comfortable. Are they as plush as on the Cadillac? No, they're not. And they could be a little bit softer in my opinion, but they're not bad at all either. Gas mileage is good. Cargo space is good. We have a decent acceleration. Power is good. So why are they not selling? Well, here's my theory on it. Well, first of all, the Grand Wagoneer and the Wagoneer, they've been off the market for a long time. They had it, I'm not sure if it was 80s when they discontinued them. And then for a long time, they never had a large SUV. And then they reintroduced them. And quite frankly, when they reintroduced them, they had some issues, both with the engines and the electronics. So it wasn't like a smooth launch for the brand. They also were trying to market it as a completely separate brand. So like even till now, you don't see Jeep Wagoneer. And of course, they're displayed on Jeep's website, but you don't see the Jeep Wagoneer. You just see Wagoneer as a separate brand, Wagoneer or Grand Wagoneer. Was it the right marketing stunt? Well, I don't know. Obviously, people are not buying into it so much. So maybe that had part to do with that. But in my opinion, it was mostly like the reliability issues, especially after they first introduced it. There was some of the concerns about the pricing because they were really expensive, especially when they first came out. And they came out in a really bad timing because this was right after COVID. So not only they were expensive, but the dealers goes like, hey, all right, well, let's mark them up. So, I mean, they were putting another $10,000 on top of that, and that would make it in the category of pretty much Cadillac Escalade. Now that's all changed, but I don't know if people are not informed about that yet, or maybe they still have some reservations about the Wagoneers. But I think that once they start driving it and I highly suggest that if you have like a rental car agency anywhere close to you, that you go in and check it out, because they're not expensive to rent. And if you're looking for a large SUV, it would be really nice for you to actually get it on the road, get it in your driveway, make sure it fits wherever you need it to fit, and see if it feels to your liking. Now, as far as the price, it's a very competitive price in the segment for the amount of features that you get for the amount of space that you have. It comes with a 3 years, 36 miles warranty, 5 years, 60 on the powertrain. So if you're concerned about the reliability of this vehicle, definitely consider, you know, maybe going with the extended warranty, get like a 7-year, 100,000 miles on it, and you know, drive it and enjoy it. Now, the Chevy is going to be hard to beat because they've been consistent with their vehicles. I think the Suburban is the longest running nameplate in the industry. They've been running since the 30s, I believe, 30s or 40s. So they never stopped. They always had a Suburban, you know, and then the Tahoe, of course, the shorter version of it. So, you know, a lot of people that switched to it just never looked back. You know, if it's not broken, don't fix it. That kind of attitude. And then, of course, the newcomers, you know, the Toyota Sequoia, I mean, early 2000, it was introduced, like, and then 2007, 2008, I believe the Nissan Armada, those are the Japanese competitors. And yes, they have a little bit of that market share because of the brand loyalty that people have, but I don't think that they're really a threat to it. The Expedition, you know, they recently redesigned it for 2024 model year. Now it's a V6. They had the 6 or the 8 on the previous ones. They don't have the 8-cylinder available anymore. But anyways, the Chevy controls about 80% of the market, and that's the truth of it. But if you're looking for something different, definitely check this out. Again, I don't work for them. I don't sell them. I think it's a pretty cool offering in the marketplace. Let me know what you think. Welcome all the comments, guys, and thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you like anything about this video, don't forget to give me a hands up. Consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.